You think you get judged after you sit down with a recruiter. You're wrong. You got judged the second you walked in the door, and here's the messed up part. You don't even know you've already failed. Today I'm going to walk through exactly what goes on in a recruiter's head within the first 30 seconds of interacting with you. Why some people get fast-tracked and others get quietly ignored. I used to sit in a recruiter's office every day. I was a recruiter for the Marine Corps for 3 years, and I'd watch this scenario play out time and time again, where two people, two friends usually come in, they both want to join, they both have a conversation with the recruiter, one leaves with paperwork in hand and dreams to follow, and the other leaves dejected because he wasn't ready. So let me tell you exactly what just happened. So here's the thing, a lot of people think recruiters are emotional. Do they like me? Did I say the right thing? No, recruiters are running a simple calculation, effort versus payoff. You see, we have a lot of people that we need to enlist in the military. And there are people who are ready to join, pretty easy process, and headaches. And you've only got so much time in the day. And they're choosing between you and 10, 15, 20 other people. Like, I was a top recruiter, and at any given time, I would have 10, 15, 20, 25 people that I was in conversations with, and 2 to 3 that I could enlist in a month. Now, some of those were waivers that were going to take a long period of time, and some of those were walk in and go, right? You cut the line. So let's walk through this. If you called in before we even set an appointment, I would have run you through the acronym iCombat VP. It stands for, hey, do you have any implants, pins, plates, screws, whatever? Contacts. Do you have contacts? Vision issues? Like, do you need glasses? Whatever. Oh, operations. You ever had any? Any medical history, like surgeries that I need to know about? Any medications that you're currently on or used to be prescribed outside of like antibiotics and stuff. Like we're talking ADHD, depression, anxiety, seizure meds, asthma, whatever. B, any broken bones that you've ever had, fractures, whatever. A, asthma, any breathing issues, even bronchitis. Like we want to know about this stuff. Inhaler use for any reason. T, tattoos. Boy, does this one screw a lot of people. Tattoos, piercings, right? What do you have? V, vision. Any other issues? Nearsighted, farsighted, color vision, whatever. And P, this one gets a lot of people too. Psych. Any history of, whether that's suicide ideation, suicide attempt, psychological distress, major mental health disorders, right? Like things that needed medication. Like the three biggest ones here that mess people up, I think. Like there's a lot of common stuff, but the three that can mess you up pretty quickly, pretty hard and fast is medications, tattoos, and psych. Some of that stuff is just hard to overcome. Like if you got a freaking swastika tattooed, sorry, you're out. If you got hand tattoos, most branches don't like that. You got a face tattoo, it is what it is, right? I'm not saying you should go get a face tattoo to dodge the draft. Not that we're going to have a draft, but they may change those standards at that point in time, right? Now, after that, the first few questions that they ask when you come in the door, right? And they should ask these on the phone too, but like height, weight. Are you going to be able to pass the fitness test? Do we need to help you gain weight? Which does happen. Do we need to help you lose weight? Or how long is it going to take to get you in shape? I had applicants who come in who it took 9 months to a year to get them in shape. They were great kids, but it took a long time to get them in shape. So you're not going to put a ton of effort into them right off the bat because I'll tell you, I had probably, for every kid who dropped that weight to join the military, I probably had 10 or 20 that said they wanted to be a Marine and never dropped the weight. So you don't put a ton of effort into them until they start proving they're actually going to cut it. We're assessing tattoos and appearance. If you, this is kind of a job interview, right? Like, I'm not saying you need to wear a suit, but dress decently. Like, if you look like you're on meth, it's going to raise questions in the drug screening process, right? If you look like you are just trash, like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, you all know what I mean. Like, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but if someone walks in and they just look trash or hood or drugged out, like, your spidey sense starts going off. So I'm not saying you need to wear a suit, but like dress decently, jeans and a t-shirt, jeans and a polo. Just look somewhat like you care about the opportunity that you're looking to pursue. Communication. You'd be amazed how much this weeds people out. I'm listening when you're talking. Are you full of Are you rambling? Will you look me in the eyes? Are you clearly lying to me, right? Like if I ask you a question and you answer like this, hey, have you ever smoked pot? No. I now know you smoke pot. It's just a matter of what else you're hiding, right? So like, don't just be a decent person. Shake the hand, look in the eye contact, have the conversation, have some confidence, have some communication, right? Like, again, act like you care. The medical side, right? If you limp in or you've got obvious medical stuff, try to get ahead of that. Now, obviously stuff happens, right? Like, I'm not saying if you walk in with a broken foot, it's going to matter. You can come in with a broken foot. We just know it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks, so you're healed and cleared, and then whatever. Number 5 here is attitude, right? This is not a thing in black and white, but like if you're a dick, you may just not be able to join. I will never forget, I had this gentleman, I'm not going to name him because that would be a disservice to where I live. And he joined. And he wanted to be active duty, but he had like 2 or 3 misdemeanors. I don't remember what they were, but like it was a big waiver, a big legal waiver, right? He needed to lose some weight. He needed to get in shape. It was nothing like that we couldn't get around. Things that are recoverable, but are still waivers for legal trouble, right? They show that you were a little reckless at one point in time. He joins, he gets ready to go into the reserves because he wanted to go active duty, but we were like, dude, with all this waiver crap, like they might push it if you're reserves because at the time they needed more reservists than active duty, but they're probably not going to push through for active. So your best bet is like go reserves, try to go active duty later. I'm not saying it's easy to go active from reserves, but that might be your best bet for all these waivers. And this dude was fine until he wasn't. He had a freaking attitude. And I'll never forget, he got up in my face once. He was late. I couldn't never get him to show up to PT. I didn't know if he was ready for boot camp because he wasn't really in shape. And he shows up and he gets angry because I called him out for being late in front of everyone. And he got up in my face and I discharged him on the spot as he's like in my face. Like, I'm not going to fight a freaking applicant. But he gets in my face out front of the recruiting station in front of all the other applicants. And I just raised my voice enough to basically say, buddy, you will never be a United States Marine. Get the out of my office. We were out front and he left. And he was not happy. It was a whole thing. And my other recruiters had to show up. And I had to call my boss and say, hey, I just discharged the reservist who's supposed to go to boot camp next month. Don't worry, I'll find someone else. And luckily, I had been decent enough at recruiting that I had other people who were interested in joining. But that was literally a already approved, already sworn to MEPS, already went to DEP applicant who just showed his ass as somebody who wouldn't be a good person in the military. And a recruiter who's ahead of mission will boot you based on just not being a good applicant, right? It doesn't necessarily matter if you're awkward or, uncomfortable or shy, like all of that's fine. But if you're difficult, if you're defensive, if you're aggressive, right? Like, why do I want to deal with you for a year? And why do I want your name on my record if you go to boot camp and you're a hit? Because if you get discharged at boot camp, that hurts me worse than if you just don't ever join, right? Like as a career, right? So like when you're a recruiter, you tie your name to these guys. If they drop out of boot camp or do something stupid, it's on you until they get out of boot camp. So if I got 15 other applicants, I'm not going for the headache. The next one up is maturity, right? Like, hey, needing to talk to your folks when you're senior in high school, junior in high school, you're thinking about joining the military, like absolutely. In fact, we encourage you, bring them in. But if you're 22, you dropped out of college, you got nothing, and now you're like, I got to talk to my girlfriend or my mom. Like, you just seem like a headache, right? Like, cool. Come back when you're ready. Because I view you as not serious at that point. So I'm not going to push or pull. I'm going to leave you, and you're going to have to push or pull to join, right? Like, the ball's now in your court. And another one here is just the sneaky something feels off. If the story doesn't line up, the energy feels weird, you hesitate, trust drops instantly. We're pattern recognition machines as recruiters. We've been through thousands of people looking for somebody to join the military. If something feels off or it feels like you're hiding something or you're not being honest with us, we're going to move on. Here's what you need to understand. This is not personal. Nobody's sitting here thinking, is this a good person? We're thinking, is this an efficient use of my time to get this person in the military? Because recruiting is a numbers game. We have a quota and we have a lot of pressure to meet that. There's no commissions or any of that bullshit like people say. But we have limited time, quotas to hit, pressure from above. We've got families we want to see. A lot of us are married at the time we get on recruiting or get married or whatever, right? So like if I'm already working 80 hours a week, which yes, there were weeks I worked 100 plus, but 80 hours a week, let's say on average, is kind of what all the recruiters I worked with have all, I asked them before I ever talk about it. Cause I'm like, dude, am I crazy? Was it 80? And they were all like, yeah, 80 is probably yes on average. If I'm spending 80 hours a week working, the last thing I want to do is spend that on one person when I could spend it on 3 or 4 people, right? And I want to go see my family more, believe it or not, than I want to drag you across the finish line to enlist. So if you're a headache, you're going to have to put in the legwork to join. That's why some of you go in to talk to a recruiter and you're like, I don't get it. They kind of ignored me or pushed me away. You were a headache. Do the legwork if you want it. Show it. Show me that you really want this. You're being evaluated as a project, as a number, as an applicant, not as a person. It's not about your personality or your deal. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, maybe if you're a person, like, we're going to know that. We're probably not going to want you in the military. But like, every issue you bring in adds time, adds paperwork, adds risk. I don't want to put 20 hours into somebody and then them not be able to ever join, right? I want to weed them out and put the effort into the person who can join. So instead of asking or wondering if the recruiter likes you, wonder how easy you are to process, right? Set yourself up for success. That shift alone, making yourself an easy person to help, will put you ahead of a lot of people, because we will bend over backwards to help people that we like and believe in. You got to prove that you're worthy of that time, because we are busy people. If you want to really improve your odds, be upfront about issues. Show you've done some homework. Speak clearly and directly. Act like someone who's ready now. Remove as much friction as possible. Be in shape. Your goal? Become the easy yes for joining, for our time, for recruiters who have a mission to try to help set up the nation's defense for the future. And yeah, I get it. Life's not fair. This isn't fair, but it's real. And the people who understand the game, they win faster. So look, if you want more real, no BS breakdowns like this, how to actually navigate the military, build wealth while you're in and not get screwed financially, click the link in the description or scan this QR code and download a free PDF copy of my best-selling book, The No BS Guide to Military Life. Bottom line is this: recruiters are there to help you join the military. You're not entitled to join. It is not a last chance, I messed everything up, now they have to help me. You'd be amazed how many times I hear people be like, no, but I want to join and they won't let me. You still have to be qualified. It's still a job, and the requirements for joining the military are actually fairly strict. So the best thing you can do is stay somewhat straight-laced and stay in shape. Be a good person. We would love for you to join the military and set yourself up for success in life. Hope this video was helpful. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.